So the first match of the loser side of bracket, winner's side, wrapped up yesterday in exhilarating fashion.
And that was a unbelievable match for all the wrong reasons. So I'm really kind of looking forward to this match here because these two guys probably have played Bounty Hunter probably more than anybody I can think of right now. So they know kind of the ins and outs. I think these two are going to be nice, evenly matched, and this is going to be one amazing race. I think 2 out of 3 at least.
This has been the worst Richter gameplay so far. Now look, it's not a Richter tournament. I think we've all been guilty of some questionable Richter sections, but sloppy.
Well, even 8 years ago, the castle was a creature of chaos, you know, making people forget all about prologue and how it works.
Now, I will say, Ren doing a great job with some improv there, actually retaking the lead. I thought Crazy was for sure going to have like 5 seconds early, but no, Ren back on top? Okay.
Yep, and it looks like they're doing okay as far as time. I was concerned that those prologues were going to take a little too long so that they were going to miss out on any kind of stat bonuses, but I think they did okay. We'll see once they start hitting things.
Now, despite the fact that this is the loser side of the bracket, just keep in mind, it's all best of 3. So it's not a one-game winner-takes-all. We're going to have at least a couple to work with. So you have the standard Insta-Library card for both runners.
I suppose that is the permanent meta.
All right, so it looks like Skull is going to be our first farm. Now, Doozy, where can we find the Skull?
Well, the Skull can be found in one room in the entire game. That is in the Reverse Castle, in the Reverse Castle Keep, and it is the skull that Yorick is chasing. He is the poor gentleman under the upside-down stairs looking for his noggin. Poor guy. But it looks like we got a random two-hander drop here, thrust sword for Blades. So if he wants to use it to get early access to Olrox, he can.
Isn't Yorick a Shakespeare reference?
Ah, Yorick, I knew him well. Yeah, he was the jester in Hamlet's court.
Ooh. Good SotN trivia for you. Okay, audio should be better now. Hopefully that fixed it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know there was still technical.
No, it was hard to tell during the Richter section, but yeah, we had some double audio for a moment. Okay, so both runners have access to a thrust sword now. So if it's like gravity boots, we might have a early route divergence.
Yeah, and that's really what I'm looking for right now. I don't know about YouTube, but really this seems like fairly linear at this point, so I'm really looking forward to where these paths may split here once we get to some more interesting pickups, which, hey, that might even be right here, depending on what that card is.
2 cards in the first 3 minutes.
Now, Jupiter, if this was you, like, what would you prefer? Like, getting cards early or movement early?
Good question. I'd have mixed feelings. On the one hand, getting cards early slightly lowers the chances that a random Vlad drop wins or loses you a race. Hey, look at this Phantom Skull. 3 races in a row. That's crazy. On the other hand...
The bane of Razio's existence.
On the other hand, you know, safe is my least favorite preset for a reason. When I'm playing SotN, ideally I'd like to be pressing buttons, you know? So transformations are preferred just to speed up movement, so there are pros and cons to both. What about you, Doozy?
Well, this is why casual is the best preset, because you generally get flight pretty early, and movement options can be just about anywhere. It's really fun.
I will say, though, the worst casual seeds are awful.
Oh, speaking of which, if somebody just decided not to use the library card, they might be in the lead right now. But instead, just a slight early advantage there for Ren.
I'll mention there's only 1 player remaining of the 12 in bracket who believes in going cube first, and that's Vey. Vey is smiling
Why do I get
upon
the
this seed
feeling
right
that
now.
Ren is going to go check the entrance right now? Yeah.
How do you feel about this play? This is something a lot of players like Swarm, for example, are not big fans of.
Yeah, I heard him talking about it yesterday. The only time I would ever entertain this particular option, well, no, I don't think I entertain this option because to me, I don't have the Jewel of Open yet. And that's an essential item. Like, to me, you don't bother doing this. Wait till you get the Jewel of Open, then come here later when you're out getting the Merman statue. And then you're just adding a little density to your checks. But just doing it kind of blind here, I just don't love it.
Okay, it's a library card. What's surprising me is that Ren is doing this.
Ooh, you're going to get a library card and just not get it. Okay. That's a big time waste for poor Ren. I actually think that's a bit of a misstep there.
I have to agree. Going for something. Ren, definitely a very aggressive player with some unique routing ideas. That seems like a little bit too committal early, I think. There are plenty of library cards,
you know
reminder.
Yeah?
No, please go ahead.
No, I was going to say, this also is sort of indicative of Ren the Racer. He will take gambles. I would consider that definitely an early game gamble. It just didn't pay off. This is an interesting little piece of information here. So it looks like Crazy just got himself a... what was that? I just missed it. Never mind.
Well, I just wanted to remind the chat briefly that there are minimum 6 library cards in every seed. 1 from the prologue, assuming that's done correctly, and then 5 lying around. So for example, Ren just gets another one here in Alchemy Lab. Losing out on one hurts, but it's not necessarily a deal breaker. You can probably live with that.
Oh, I didn't see it in the tracker. So in the Slugger and Gaibon room is the Echo of Bat. So at this point, just to kind of keep it in our heads, Crazy's now got in logic Spike Breaker he can do now with both those 2 items. He just needs to find the Jewel of Open. And I have the feeling that may be a high complexity check, the Spike Breaker. Or that's just a means to getting the very last check. It's a bit of information that Crazy has over Ren right now, but Ren's about to find out too.
Let's actually go ahead and switch to Crazy's audio. Crazy definitely with the lead right now because of that Power Wolf play. Spirit Orb is Power
I just
Wolf.
want to say I'm really impressed at the level of play Crazy has reached, especially in Bounty Hunter. Because when he first came around, I think like all of us, he was a little green and didn't quite know kind of the perfect movements, but he's really been sticking with it, and now he's doing great in the tournament. So I'm just really proud of him. And Ren, of course, I don't know anybody who's played more Bounty Hunter than him.
I will say, I think the SotN community's got a really solid work ethic. We've got some grinders in the SotN scene.
Especially these days, because I see it in speedrunning now too, where a lot of people are trying to grind down their times to below sub 20 and any percent. So it's really just like a really lively scene right now. And so I'm actually impressed and very proud to be part of the group.
It's also a good time for Richter speedruns, Maria speedruns. And of course, the Rando has never been more active.
Jupiter, when are we going to see you doing Richter speedruns?
You know, I was actually looking into it. I have a hitbox-style controller. Unfortunately, the main obstacle is no SotN on PC. I'd have to bring the 360 out of storage, get the capture card set up. I pray that Konami just drops a PC release instead. Come on, Konami. It's time.
On top of it.
But yeah, I think someday I'd like to, so I can, you know, have a decent grasp on all 3 characters.
Yeah, I think there's a lot, now that we have randomizers for all 3 characters, I think there's a lot we can do in terms of tournaments, in terms of trying to like shuffle randomizers. Like, I think there are possibilities.
Yeah, and big shout outs to Mott, by the way. For those who don't know, Mott has added randomizers for Maria and Richter, with a lot of custom stuff in there as well. We've had a couple of relay races in the past where it's like a 3v3, 1 for each character. That'd be a fun like side event idea in the future.
And then nothing came out of this little grind room except for a Shaman shield. So looks like Crazy's just taking his lumps and he's still moving around, moving and grooving. See, this is what you got to get used to when I watch bounty hunters. People like killing anything and everything in every screen just to see if it holds something. And that is what's so unique about this particular preset, is it does kind of force you to go out of your way to knock off enemies because there's no places to check for equipment or items any other way.
I do wonder what kind of an effect this is going to have long term. Like, after the Lycanthrope tournament, everyone started using Wolf a lot more often. Everyone got much better at Wolf stuff. Are we going to see, in like a casual tournament or a safe tournament in the future, everyone just suddenly becoming way more proficient at combat? It's possible. Everyone kind of knows their way around castle combat now, in a way they didn't before.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how some of these people fare against, like, Boss Rush or some of the other presets where you don't get a whole lot of great weapons, you know, for endgame battles. So I think it would be very much a natural sort of movement for people who like Bounty Hunter to move and try Boss Rush.
With all the random Vlads in the past few matches, I'm surprised we haven't had one yet.
Oh, good point. Yeah, no random Vlad so far.
Something tells me it's only a matter of time.
I haven't seen all the bracket races so far, but have any showed up that have no random Vlads? I'm curious.
I think we've had a couple, but just given the amount of combat our runners are encouraged to do, I think the odds are actually in your favor of getting a random. The real question is not,
he had a little trouble with the poltergeist, but he took care of it.
Yeah, the more interesting question is always not, is it a random, but what kind of random is it? Getting a complexity Vlad out of the blue can and will win you races, just straight up. We've seen that a couple of times already. And we get some firebrand combat here for Crazy. Kind of an underused weapon because, Marsil is just so much better, but not bad.
It works in a pinch, especially if you're fighting all rocks.
It's also got that decent special, which is kind of like you pay MP to turn it into a Marsil for one sword swing. It's okay. There we go.
Yep. Oh, I'm glad that Crazy did that. Yeah, it's a good special for the second form.
Ooh, that was a clean... Speaking of people getting good at combat, that was some beautiful stuff from Crazy. Proficient fight.
Good job, Crazy.
Here we go. Small divergence here. This is a good play from Ren. Gonna do relic density as opposed to standard clockwise. See if this works out. Small
Very
gamble.
exciting.
Could be
What we got?
powerful. 0 for 1 here. Spike breaker for Crazy.
Interesting. So they got Spike Breaker now and Soul Bat and Echo of Bat. So that does open a lot of stuff. The problem is nobody has Jewel of Open yet. So that's still missing. I get the feeling, I don't know why, but I feel like Ren's gonna find it before Crazy does.
Oh, wow. I was about to comment on how much I disagreed with this from Ren. We had this problem recently where runners spent too much time early on Phantom Skull, and it can bleed minutes this farm. But if you get it, if you just get lucky, it's a good idea.
Well, Ren did a good job sitting on that horseshoe, but ooh, and a random ring here. That's gonna, I don't know what that means in Bounty Hunter. I feel like it's got less meaning now, but considering how early Echo of Bat showed up, I mean, who knows? Maybe Holy Glasses has that last card they're looking for.
Yes, so far this is working out really nice for Ren. Gets the random, and while Crazy found a couple of nice non-essentials in Random Ring and Spike Breaker, well, presumptive non-essentials, I think this was a good move from Ren, and depending on what's up here, might suddenly be in the lead.
I think it's a much better move what Ren's doing now that I just see what Crazy's doing at the moment. He has to skip the Silver Ring check because he cannot do it yet without having Jewel of Open. So I do think that both players now have kind of made little routing errors here. Just, nothing huge. It's just like things that are a little bit inefficient. And, this could all be moot if, Crazy comes across like full wolf or something and can get the Silver Ring easier when he comes back here next time.
Question in the chat, what is this? I guess now's a good time to go over what we're watching here exactly. This is the Symphony of the Night 2024 Randomizer Tournament. We're into losers round 1 now. Exclamation bracket in the chat. We'll bring up some info on where we are in the process. And then exclamation SotN has a link to the Discord. I recommend joining the long library. You'll get all kinds of good info.
Nice try, Crazy.
Honestly, that trick's impossible. I
Yeah,
respect
I've never
the
done
effort.
it. Absolutely.
Ooh, third card.
Ooh.
Okay. Heart card at ghost card. Spiked ball. I was hoping all 5 farms would be skeleton themed, but no dice. This is a very funny farm, though. I'm looking forward to this one. This might be our first spiked ball of the tournament.
Oh, it's spike ball. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, well, whenever you get a seed where spike ball is a target, you know it's going to be fun. Since we're talking about this tournament, you've missed a golden opportunity, Jupe, to call this the Jupiter Climb to the Top tournament.
I don't like to name stuff after myself. I like keeping it nice and simple and informative, although I will admit the pun was there. I left it.
And just to answer chat's question, yeah, so unlike other presets, there are no item checks. There's nothing to find except for drops on enemies. And instead of getting familiar cards, you now have cards that tell you who to go after in order to pick up the part of Vlad that will open up the end game. And along the way, you also got to find progression Vlads and keep track of complexity. It's really just, there's a lot of ins and outs with this preset that you don't really see much elsewhere. So.
All right, so we're getting a convergence here. Ren's going to be doing All Rocks, then going to Castle 2. Castle 2, unfortunately, is going to be required.
Yep, I'm getting a sinking feeling now that we're going to find Jewel of Open in Castle 2. So the quicker they get there, probably the better.
The interesting thing about Castle 2, of course, is that everything is on the same layer, except for Mummy sometimes, but we've got a transformation, so it's all going to be on the same layer, which means it's just as likely that Jewel is at Darkwing Bat as it is on Galamoth, or Creature. So, it's decision time now. Left side, right side. What would you do here, DZ? What's your preference?
The inverted castle is also really bad for your health. The people in Castle 2, all the enemies do major damage, and if they are just still dealing with Alucard equipment, they can die in about 1 or 2 hits. So with Crazy going in early, he's got to be real careful with the equipment he's got now. But I can equip Spike Breaker. That's pretty good second castle armor.
Good point here from Phillips in the chat. We've done everything except for Fairy Card. I believe that's the only check in Castle 1 that was not checked by either player. From Crazy's perspective, he's orphaning both Fairy Card and Powerwolf, which is bold but not unprecedented. Ren will probably just skip 1. I think this is a good call, but if it's there, it's going to be very funny.
And here comes the Skull Farm.
Yeah, this one you might as well do now. Not only is it very convenient, you'll get some levels too.
You never know what York's going to drop either.
True. Gotta imagine a double Vlad here. I've never seen this before. Crazy taking the time to equip the Bat Familiar. There's a Medusa Shield drop.
Oh, interesting. So it looks like York drops the Medusa Shield and the gold plate. But I don't think Skull has dropped anything yet.
Wait a minute. No, never mind. That Vlad from Ren was the Phantom Skull. Okay, there it is for Crazy. So 1 apiece.
Perfect.
Oh, and look at this. Ren is actually going to be doing Fairy Card first. This is going to be interesting. If this is Jewel, all of a sudden, it's going to be looking grim for Crazy.
Yep. Yeah, kind of what I'm looking for now is Jewel of Open and Mist and seeing where those are at. Nothing. Oh my gosh, I think Crazy's at a bit of an advantage here.
Yeah, that Vard is going to be helpful for Castle too, but
Fair.
Crazy has got at least a 3-minute lead right now.
Yeah, and it seems like he's faring pretty well in the inverted castle, so I don't think he's at any risk of doing, hurting himself too bad.
Bat versus bat.
Down goes Darkling.
Ooh.
Oh. Ooh. Okay, so now Crazy's got 4 cards, all sorts of information now. Skeller Ring, so no matter what, he's got to go back to first castle. I think he's making a good play going to second castle early. I actually think that, especially with Bounty Hunter, I feel like the deeper you can go, the better. And I don't know why. It just feels that way.
You know what it kind of feels like to me so far, and I'm curious if you agree, Doozy. In terms of the strategy of both of these players, for Ren, it feels like Ren is taking multiple gambles with like a 10% chance of working out. But if any one of those works out, it's going to be huge time save. Crazy, on the other hand, is doing a solid route with some smaller gambles, like for example, orphaning Fairy Card, that save a smaller amount of time. I think I prefer Crazy's approach here for game 1. It's a little more...
Yeah, I think so. I think when you're going to make gambles, I think you do have to make some measured,
Measured,
risks with
yeah,
it.
it's a measured gamba. Yeah. Exactly.
Right, and so I think going out of his way to get to entrance, that very first entrance check, that's to me like a big no-no. You want to do that like way later, when it's not such a hassle to go all the way down there, even though he did have bat. All right, well, that's a little extra movement for Crazy. It seems like the advantages kind of keep piling up here for him. There's Ren with his weird save Richter. I don't like the Tetra Spirit strat, but whatever, I respect it.
So it's going to be a right side from Crazy with an MP restoration in the meantime. Okay, so if you're rooting for Ren, you're hoping for Medusa left side, or something even crazier than that.
Yeah, I'm very curious what direction Ren's going to be going here, if he's going to try doing the left route or doing the route that Crazy is doing right now. There's two schools of thought here, so I'm just kind of curious what they go with.
Which school do you subscribe to?
You know what? I don't quite understand the left side route in Bounty Hunters, so usually what I do when I do this is I will just do the right side route, open up that entrance warp, and then maybe go back and do left side. I still really haven't figured out second castle and Bounty Hunter.
It's pretty neat how strong the reverse entrance warp can be in this preset. Definitely unique to Bounty Hunter. That's completely irrelevant in any other preset, so...
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ren with a better farm than Crazy had. Crazy had a good one, but Ren had a great one, so that's a little time save.
Yep. Considering he had a great farm with Family Skull, he might just have really good luck with RNG. And that could actually put him, that could get him ahead. So really, really interesting what happens these next few minutes if he gains time.
Interesting save from Crazy here. I wonder if this is actually just fear of Akmadon, in which case I just respect it so much. There are two kinds of people. People who think Akmadon is a joke boss, and people who have played the SotN rando, okay? This guy's for
100%.
real.
It just takes one hug for him to kill you. So, and if you got a fist item, good luck. But at least he's got a sword. He's got a little bit of distance here, but goes for the extremely hard stat of trying to get right into his grill, jump, get out of there, rinse, repeat. I absolutely admire the combat that Crazy's doing right now. It really is impressive.
I love Hellfire strats. I remember when this was first introduced, some people were speculating that it might be a little bit too slow to catch on, but the consistency on what can be a really inconsistent boss is great. So nicely done from Crazy. We might be getting, according to Swarm, an Akmadon left side, which has been speculated about. No.
For whatever reason, it's of no consequence whatsoever, but Blades did pick up Echo of Bat and Force of Echo, so his bat now has laser eyes.
Actually, with Akmadon left side, do you get the warp first? You might get the warp first.
I think you get the warp first.
It's pretty close, yeah.
Nope, he's going for it.
Ooh. Okay. Also, small problem for Crazy. Forgot to re-equip Dragon Helm. Would have saved a little bit of time on these first few bosses. Hopefully remembers soon. Oh, this is so weird. Oh, what is this? I don't agree with
so
this.
now I think this is a smart move. I think he's understanding. What I don't agree with is he's going back to Castle 1 without a second ring, without any sort of mist or Jewel of Open. I do think there's just too many things in Second Castle. That being said, this is a okay gamble. I wouldn't say it's a good gamble, but it's an okay gamble. And if you think that you can just get to that 5th card now, I just don't think that's the case.
What checks are even remaining here for Crazy?
All I could think of is he thinks something is at a holy symbol. That's the only thing. But he can't get in without a Jewel of Open. So this might be just a big mistake.
Is this a throw? Crazy's been playing so great, my instinct is that I'm just missing something.
Unless he's trying to get back to... I'm at a loss.
Maybe the idea is Akmadon, Library, check Fairy card, Phantom Skull, then you go back to Castle 2 through the teleporter, then you go left side. That's a bad route, though. I mean, that can't be correct. I
could only think that was a mistake. He meant to go to the reverse library.
Speculation.
I have done that before in a race.
Speculation in the chat that it might have been a misinput, but even then, you just save and reload. Well, hopefully it becomes more
Ren's
clear.
doing pretty much the exact same thing here. Oh, but he made the mistake again. Too close.
Now, keep in mind, if Ren didn't have Varda, I think he might have been dead from that hug from the mummy.
And now this is Crazy realizing he's only got one check left to do. It's at entrance. Is he gonna? Does he have another library card to get back to reverse library? I don't think he does. Nope. So he's restarting.
Well, from what I can tell, I think Crazy might have been second guessing the measured gamba we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Saved and then went back. That just puts Ren not only even, but actually slightly ahead.
Yeah, that's actually a huge error on an unforced error, if you will. But it looks like Ren's in the catbird seat now.
So it's gone from solid Crazy lead to anybody's game. In fact, Ren's got the Vlad advantage. I do think you're right, Deuce. I think Ren's slightly ahead now.
Yep. And now it's just a matter of when does Ren go back? Does he go back when he finds Jewel of Open? Does he go back when he finds Mist? Does he try to look for all, 3 progression items to go back to First Castle? I'm curious.
With 4 random cards, the cool thing is that you can definitely chase complexity here. So it might just come down to this 50-50. Crazy's going left side. Ren's gonna stick with right side, then go around to the left. When it comes to SotN will always be a just get lucky video game because of situations like this one.
Yep.
There's always going to be that routing 50-50.
I respect Crazy doing the Requiem strats there in the big outer wall room.
And Creature, unfortunately, has nothing, like always. Shoutouts to the J.
The J is actually pretty useful in Bounty Hunter more so than the other presets. I'll just mention that because you may have to go and beat up a fish head to get your last Vlad. So it's actually kind of a worthwhile pickup, at least in this preset.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, would much rather have seen Jewel or a card or something like that, but
yeah, I still don't agree.
There's a silver lining to it.
I always feel like something's good at trio. So I'm curious what shows up here.
Another interesting thing to consider is that we don't know which relic is going to be complexity next. So there's a library card for Ren. Dinner Dog would have more insight into this than I do, but in terms of our confidence count, it's like 3. Jewel could be next progression, but so could Mist, and so could a Ring. So...
Yep. It's what is going to be in that last layer of complexity.
Oh, what is this bees skip from Ren? Is this a measured gamba, or is this too much? Poor bees
I get
getting
the
left
feeling
behind.
Ren understands, or I think he thinks he's playing from behind right now.
Yeah.
Considering all the gambles that have come up short. So, you know, when you get that far down, or you think you're that far down, you just rake up the gambles.
And this is a pretty reasonable gamble. If you want to just commit to fully skipping one check, this is one of the slower ones remaining. Plus, yeah, it would take a little bit longer than normal having to go around the blue door. So, of course, it will be Jewel of Open at Bees. We'll see you all back here in 10 minutes to confirm that.
Yes, both racers will be punished. That's just how SotN randomizer goes.
How do you like to handle this 50-50 here, this little mini 50-50? Do you go up or do you go doppelganger?
Yep. Oh, doppelganger first for Crazy.
Nice use of the Medusa. Okay, Doozy. We didn't see it for too long, but rate the drip, if you don't mind. What do you think?
The drip. I give it a Richard Renantrl out of 10.
I'm getting some, like, Mardi Gras vibes from this cape. You know what I mean?
I do definitely see it's definitely a party cape. I think with all these seeds, you end up with pretty flashy Twilight cloaks. But yeah, that drip is pretty nice.
Okay, Leapstone. Still nothing here. I mean, that's good, but no progression.
No, that just means that now Crazy can go slightly faster than Ren.
Excuse me. Oh, I see.
I think okay, so he's gonna get his, okay.
That's
I thought the same thing. We were just like, are you just gonna skip and ignore this?
Ooh, some wolf movement. Love to see it.
Yep. I don't think it's faster per se than Bat, especially going right to left, but it does save you quite a bit of mana.
For sure. Not as much as on Lycanthrope, but it's way cheaper, so. Here you want to untransform to avoid those candles. There we go.
And Crazy has met the whole Bat family.
This is really interesting. Quite a barren castle, too, considering how much is left to find.
Yeah, I feel like they got a lot of good stuff early. It's where is that Jewel of Open and where are they going to find it? It's guaranteed to be in Castle 2.
We've got...
No, it is guaranteed.
Yeah, it's guaranteed at this point. I believe you're right. We've got 3 checks remaining. Death is the boring one. The other 2 are stream value checks. We could have Jewel of Galamoth. And as prophesized, we could have Jewel at Bees. I'm happy either way, just not death, please.
I get the feeling there's going to be nothing at death and Galamoth is going to have the gold ring. I just have that feeling. And then Bees is going to have Jewel of Open.
You gotta imagine this. You go to Galamoth, you get something like Mr. Ring. You go back, no save split. It's bait. You gotta come back for bees. Not out of a question here. It might be one of those seeds.
It's definitely one of those seeds. It already is.
Yeah, also good point from Swarm here. This is where, because of how late this Castle 2 is going, Ren having that Vard is going to be a difference maker now.
Did Crazy get rid of his Varda? Oh yeah, he split it away.
That was kind of sick.
But he can go and pick up that Varda whenever he wants. But you're right, like Ren is just gonna mow through the end of this. That's why Ren is still in the lead, even though it looks like he's behind.
Yeah, better combat, extra Vlad.
But no Medusa shield to get Doppelganger quickly. I will say that Crazy's big advantage so far has been his combat. He seems to have really good feel for fighting bosses and enemies. It's kind of fun to watch.
Reminders, SotN inputs are a meme. That was clearly a soul steal.
By the way, people are staying in the room to pick up their item. Hey, there it is. Because of a programming thing. Yep.
So, what do you do here, Doozy?
Like
you got.
He decides to completely. Oh, I see. He's gonna do a split here. I think this is a smart move on Blade's part.
I was gonna ask what you
split. Nope, not splitting. Oh, okay, there you go.
So this is what you would do, Doozy. How you'd be splitting here and then going back to Castle 1?
Yep, go back to Castle 1, do as much of the caverns as you can, which is pretty much everything at this point, and then split back and do these the Galamoth check and bees. Oh, or yeah, he's gonna open up the warp and then card out. I think.
Yeah, I'm not even sure the save split is necessary, to be completely honest. The final card is guaranteed to be complexity. I mean, the only risk is that Jewel is bait, but that is so unlikely. I think this might be a reasonable gamble. I think Ren might just go for it after finding Jewel. In fact, are there any farms down in caverns? It's Phantom Skull, Skull, Skelerang.
Might be going to do bees now. Is that crazy? No. He's going to go back to Castle 1. But I guess he never picked up a library card. I'm very confused why he's doing it this way.
So the current chain is Bat 1, Holy Glasses 2, Jewel 3. It is possible for Jewel to be bait. Very unlikely. But it could be Rings 3, Mist 4, or vice versa, and then final card 5. Which would be very funny.
There's so many things that can be found in caverns that it's almost impossible for it to just be pure bait.
Yeah, at this point, I think you gotta just play the odds. I'm with you.
Now, Holy Symbol, on the other hand, could be bait.
So here's a question, and I've never gotten your opinion on this, Doozy. This is one of those, like, it's a serious theory crafting idea, but it's become a meme because literally nobody goes for it. It's talked about to death, and it never happens. What are your thoughts on Succubus Skip, especially late into a match like this one?
Man, I think it's really hard for me to skip Succubus. It's just on the way. I mean, fighting Succubus is really hard, but when you're dealing with a complexity location where there's just so many places to check, I don't feel like you can really lose one, especially one that's just like right there as you walk into caverns. I don't know. How do you feel about that, Jupiter?
I totally get it. I think if Succubus was like a couple of checks later into caverns, the skip would be way more common. In the same way that Merman skip is pretty common. But the fact that Succubus is the literal first check, it feels too committal. You know, it's like the odds of this burning me are slightly higher than later checks, so I'm gonna go for it. And I think that's the real reason people hesitate. It's the first check in the area. Oh, here we go, Spiked Ball Farm.
You could absolutely go ahead.
I'm excited for the Spike Ball Farm.
Here we go.
God, if I'm crazy, I maybe just go get the Varda.
Yeah,
Get the Varda.
that's why I was like, doesn't he have a library card? He could just library card back and then just go pick up the Varda.
And I don't believe we found the second Arcana yet, have we?
No.
This might have been a little bit premature.
We also don't know where... I mean, there's a lot of things still missing. I mean, nobody's found gravity boots yet. So there's still kind of random things that can still be picked up here and there.
All right, small window for Ren. If this is a nightmare farm, this could take 20 minutes. So yeah, I think it's a good call to leave. Oh, apparently Ren didn't get the reverse keep warp. That's a mistake. So we're getting a little bit of, I think, loser's bracket nerves from our runners today.
I think so too. It's both sides are making some pretty easily avoidable mistakes here. But I think when you've got the pressure of the tournament, you know, these guys have to be on the top of their game. You know, nerves can set in, anxiety can set in. And I think we've actually seen that from both racers a couple times now.
Absolutely. I'm a firm believer that everyone in bracket is capable of winning the whole tournament. Everyone's so good at this point. But it's just, SotN's a really hard game. And hard to play perfect. Sadly, no Skellerang on the way for Crazy.
Race plays next? Or has that haven't been figured out yet?
Yeah, race 2 is always going to be after race 1. Hey, there we go.
There it is.
The way I like to do it is 1 and 2 are always back-to-back, and then game 3 is always separate. That way, no one feels pressured to do 3 in a row, which I think is too much. So we'll see if a game 3 is necessary here.
Oh, I was going to ask if the next round's been decided for who the winner of this round faces.
Oh, I see. I forget. I have to look at the bracket.
Oh.
Oh. I saw that Chrysogrim sprite, got a little bit excited. It's just a Heaven Sword. Too bad.
Just I thought you were getting excited for the Moonrod. It's like, it's Jupiter's secret favorite weapon right here coming at you.
It's got a special.
The special's really good on certain enemies, that's true.
Honestly, I think Heaven Sword is arguably better. It's a good complementary weapon. Yeah, it might even save time on certain farms, but I mean, if that had been a Chrysogrim, that would have been a big deal. So yeah, Ren is in a perfect position here to actually get this thing immediately.
And it looks like Crazy's in a position to, you know, prove you right or wrong, Jupe. Let's see what Succubus has.
It's gonna be nothing.
It's almost always nothing now that I think about it.
Also, shoutouts to the Luck Potion. Shoutouts to the Luck Potion. This is a Ren special here. We had Ren have a really clutch game 1 or 2 win versus Dinner Dog with a an out-of-the-way Arcana pickup, and now using the Luck Potion. Luck works in this game, don't forget.
And he's going to go right to Skellerang, and so we're going to see Ren just pick up 4 very quick. There's the other Arcana. All right, Jupe, you're right. You're always right.
This one's at least a little borderline. I mean, it's something, but yeah, you could have done without this at this point.
All right, I'm going to skip Succubus from now on.
I just want to see someone try it. God, I don't know who's ahead here. This is really close.
We always have to skip something. It's always skip creature or skip bees now, and why not skip that too? Skellerang's not being very generous to Ren right now, though. Yeah, it's a little bit of a kind of doldrum period in the race.
Well, I agree. However, Crazy opting to skip Holy Symbol. That's an interesting gamble.
That's an interesting move. I thought he had split it away, but you're right. He's just avoiding it completely and assuming it's bait. Like most people.
That's our first duplicator of the Symphony of the Night 2024 randomizer tournament, at least in the bracket stage. Where have these duplicators been?
And a fish head of all things.
Regrettably. Crazy doesn't have any good materials for it. That's such a shame.
Well, maybe. Unfortunately, there are no mana prisms at the shop.
It does look very shiny. Yeah, honestly, a duplicator plus luck potion would have been a pretty insane combo. So finally, Ren gets this one. I gotta say though, I've been impressed with Ren's late game routing here. I think Ren might be ahead now, actually.
And I think his early game RNG luck really did help him out and make up for that little bit of unluck he had just there. Bad luck. And there is that grab boot that I was wondering where it was. It's over at Demon Card.
Is Duplicator banned? Absolutely not. Duplicator is way too much fun to ban. We're going to keep Chrysogrim and ban Duplicator, not a chance. However, unfortunately, because you have to find everything in this preset, you got to not only find Duplicator, you also got to find a good item to use with it, so it's less useful.
Suggesting banning Duplicator?
Yeah, apparently some people don't like it. I don't know. I will never ban it in one of my tournaments ever.
I mean, that's what makes SotN so fun, along with, you know, Bat and Wolf move it.
Wait, what is,
It looks to me as though, I think... Yeah, I'm actually have no idea what is going on here. So it looks like Blades is just getting his mana back. Oh, that was weird.
Ren also not going to skip Succubus. We'll have that second Arcana for a grand total of 1 farm. Yeah, I'm going to agree with Jammer's analysis in the chat here. I mean, look, my read, we'll have to hear from Crazy if there's a decisive result here, but my feeling is that Crazy had a really solid game plan going into this match and has hesitated, both in Castle 2 and now here in Castle 1, compromising a bit on the route. Could work out, though. Just skill of Wolf here.
Full Wolf, I guess, is a nice consolation prize there. It's just a little extra fast movement that helps when if you're going to go after the Mormagil check. But otherwise, that's a bit of a bummer. Still trying to figure out what exactly is that last step in complexity. Because we don't know what Holy Symbol has.
Yeah, it's true.
Until we know it's, what, Schrodinger's cat? I can't say that right.
So in terms of the chain right now, with Jewel being 3, we're still looking for Mist or Rings. We found Echo earlier, so Spike Breaker is not going to be the final card.
So now Blades is doing the routing that I prefer, which is just wait till you get Jewel of Open, then you do this check. But he's doing it with not a whole lot of mana. I can tell that he's just kind of saving it for when he's...
I'm going to tell you right now, this is a huge moment. If Ren finds something of value here at Holy Symbol, it's going to be Ren game 1.
Yep. Ah! Spirit Orb.
Okay, whoa, what is this from Crazy? Wait a minute. I don't know what this is. Is Is this an MP refill? I'm not sure what's going on now.
Yeah, I think he's just getting some mana back, and then... Oh, no. He's doing a second split.
Okay, so it's save, warp to mines. Okay, it's actually pretty interesting. Very rarely seen save split, but it might work out here, actually.
Yeah. By the way, this is sort of the strategy that Dinner Dog sort of employs in the video in regards to this particular preset, where, like, you want to set up a bunch of splits, especially when you have 4 cards. So once you have
very
that 5th
strong.
card, you can bounce to where you need to go. So I think at this point, we're going to see probably a lot of splits for Mr. Crazy.
I would just like to mention, it is possible that my original quote-unquote prediction of Jewel being bait is on the table. It's possible that all of Caverns is empty and Bees or Galamoth has the real progression. We got 2 checks left, which means we're going to Grand Falloon. We're going to Grand Falloon.
You can't skip Grand Flu this time. It's got to be something. Well, that's not true.
The
I
odds
don't
are
think
so high,
Spike
though,
Breaker is
yeah.
going to be anything. It just feels like all the material... Well, no, I don't know. I guess the last thing needed to check this was Jewel of Open, so who knows. Classic blind bat from Crazy. Well done. I'm really just impressed by the execution of just movement. It's like the routing's a little bit off for Crazy, but I feel like everything else he's doing has been really, really clean.
Okay, so it's missed at Spike Breaker.
Yep.
That confirms.
Which now makes me think Silvering Check's gonna have it, but we'll see.
That confirms that Galamoth and Beelzebub are pointless. There is the small chance
turns out
that
both racers are right.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a good call to skip those. There's the small chance that Mist is bait, but at this point, I think doing this first makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Smart move to pick up the Varda. It's just right there. Why not?
So despite some hesitation, Crazy now definitely ahead in terms of the routing. It might come down to farm luck.
Yep.
See if Crazy can get nearly as lucky as Ren did on some of these. And yeah, good call from Ren. Gonna go right down. This is smart.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, Crazy's got some catching up to do because he's got 3 farms he has to do as opposed to just 1 for Ren. I mean, even if this is the card, like, he's still got a ways to go. So it's going to be interesting to see if Ren can catch up a little bit here, if that's the case. And it's nothing, which, my money was on Silvering anyway.
Okay, 2 options here. Option number 1. I think it's just straight up a 50-50. Option number 1, Silvering's got the card. Option number 2, Gold Ring at Grand Falloon. And then Grand Falloon into Gold Ring into Holy Symbol, or Holy Glasses, has the card instead. That's rough.
How long is this seed gonna be? We're about to find out. It's gonna be barely over an hour, or is this gonna be a 90-minute seed? That really depends on whether or not that last card's in Mormorgil.
You know, and you remind me of something. When we were first kind of introducing this preset, it was common for seeds to take like 90 minutes or even 2 hours. But now everyone's getting so much better at this preset and the routing's become so much more efficient that we're regularly getting sub-hour clear times.
Yeah. It's people are just so good at this now, and I really do feel like I got lapped in terms of how people approach the game. So I'm a little bit out of it's fun for me to watch. It's just hard for me to play just because there is just that added dimension that I think makes this preset really fun to play. And I'm really getting that here. But yeah, I think it's just people are now so efficient with just farming and maximizing when to go after enemies now that Bounty Hunter has gone from being kind of a bit of a novelty to really having its own sort of micro community. It's really cool to watch.
Absolutely. I think we're going to see a similar effect that we saw with Lycanthrope, where, you know, you play that preset for like 3 months straight, and there's a little burnout afterwards. But when the dust settles and everyone's kind of refreshed, it becomes a community mainstay. And we see people play it all the time. Yep. Nice dive kick farm.
Oh my gosh. Well, sometimes it's just that easy.
So either Ren doesn't have a library card, or Ren has calculated correctly that it's only a 50% chance of working out and is going to go fight Granfluen, which I think would be genius.
I love how Ren waited to turn on the light in that room and ended up just damage boosting himself out anyway. Good for you. Good job, Ren.
Okay, never mind. It's just a no library card scenario.
Ah.
Also, quick shout out to Lucy. Hello, Lucy. Thank you very much for the first time Prime. Welcome. We have a lot of cool new emotes, and we have a new emote, a mic emote, on the way. So look forward to it. All right. Coin flip time. And now from here, this is going to work out nicely for the farm, because Crazy can go right to Spike Ball.
I don't think it's a possibility at this point, but I would love for Silver Ring to have Gold Ring.
Oh, that's possible. Yeah, just like a complexity 6. Absolutely.
Think?
Yeah. Oh, I wonder what Crazy's iframe situation is like. Okay, just going for Hellfire. Good call. Yep, very nice.
Very cool. I thought he had some usable items, but, you know, why not? Pretty swag. And there it is. What do we got? Skull? What did it say? I missed it.
Azaghal. Widely considered the
Azaghal.
worst farm.
At the very least, Azaghal is right by like where Shaft and Dracula is, so it's not like you just do it when you're on your way to Dracula. But the real tricky part is going back and dealing with the Spike Ball.
Look at how close this race is. Ren is going to be checking Silver Ring very soon. If Crazy gets average luck on Spike Ball, it's going to be literally tied. It's going to come down to the Azaghal farm. I love
really
Bounty
does.
Hunter. I love this preset.
I still think Ren is in the lead here. I really do. I think it's his to lose, and it has everything to do with the fact like we just don't know how much it's going to take for Crazy to farm 2 enemies right now. Or I'm sorry, 2 drops, as opposed to the 1 Vlad drop that Ren's got to farm. And I believe... Oh, he does not have a library card.
It turns out library cards were especially valuable this seed.
Yeah, they really were. This is definitely one of those seeds where you have to bounce everywhere a couple times. Poor Crazy. There we go. Now it's the mad dash to Azaghal. Oh, this is exciting. This is exciting, Jupe.
I can't believe it. It's really going to come down to this one farm. Now, neither player having access to a library card, it looks like, or else I would expect reverse library card would be faster. So that means Ren's ahead. Let's do a lead check at the castle teleporter here. So Ren is entering.
I think at one point, didn't Crazy have a duplicator and a library card? I don't know.
Yeah, you might have been right, actually. Maybe that was an idea. But Ren teleports at 59:30. It's going to be less than a minute.
It just comes down to the RNG gods.
I think if Crazy loses this, there are going to be some regrets. Crazy had a solid lead and then hesitated once in Castle 2, hesitated once in Castle 1, and then I think a nervous library card duplicator mistake. This could be the difference maker as well. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
I think of...
But, you know, it's just one of those things where it's hard to shake that maybe you left something on the table.
Yeah, I think Crazy's going to be kicking himself after this. But I really think the turning point was that errant library card. Maybe he had a plan in the moment and just forgot what he was going after, but... And now Ren is on to... Oh, he's going to go actually do the Azaghal room in the Colosseum, Reverse Colosseum. Or not, he's just going to get more mana.
Here's another question. Does Crazy have the warp in the middle of the castle? I am not 100% on this one.
I thought didn't he go out of his way to get that? No, he didn't. We thought that was weird. He just library carded right up.
Oh, so we thought it was 1 minute. It's going to be more like 3. Yeah, maybe another small routing mistake that ends up costing Crazy here. That is too bad. All right, so you're going to see why this is the worst farm. This is with Avarda. Ren's taking over 50 damage a pop.
And it's not like these guys give their drops easily.
Here comes Crazy.
You know, having Final Guardian be a target is really bad. This is probably just a notch below, having to farm Azaghals.
Here comes Crazy. Crazy can just head right for Reverse Colosseum.
He's catching right up.
Oh no, this is another routing mistake. Oh, never mind, it's fine. Just resetting the room.
He's just...
Sorry, I got ahead of myself there.
Route up to Colosseum. Very clean, by the way. Looks like Crazy's been practicing that room quite a bit.
Oh, here comes Crazy. All right.
We're about to have a dead heat here.
And we got Osafune strats from Ren.
Very, very interesting, the strategies that they're employing right now.
That's a card.
Unfortunately, the Minotaur's just laid waste to Crazy, so he has to get his HP back up. And he's saving. Oh boy.
So we're looking at a little under
gets this
10% for the drop rate with only 1 Arcana. A little under 10%. Just get lucky.
Ren used his only luck potion. He's got the fairy on hand. I don't think he got a life apple, so I don't think it's as advantageous as it would be.
Oh, Crazy's using Alucards? Oh my god, this is rough.
Yep. Who gets this first? Let's see. Oh, this is so fun, Jupe.
I can't believe this. We might have a death
here. This is the best
here.
part of SotN Randomizer.
Oh my god, Ren's within 1 hit. Oh, there it is! Ren survives, gets the drop.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy's got to get it right here to have a chance. Just to level up.
Unbelievable.
I think that's it.
You, like, at the end of the day, you can be as skillful as you want to be. Sometimes these bounty hunter seeds just end up being sheer luck when it's this close.
God, if Ren had died there, 1 hit away, that would have been a reload. That would have been like 30 seconds plus a time loss. That could have been the difference that Crazy needed. But let's see how it goes for Crazy. I'll be curious to see if it's still a good farm.
Oof. Word to the wise, everybody. Azaghal always jumps to the right, never to the left. Don't try to hit him from the right.
Unless you're feeling very bold.
All right, well, looks like Ren's going to get this round, barring some kind of death that's going to happen here.
Yeah, it's too bad. I think this one was left on the table for Crazy. Let's go ahead and switch over to Ren's audio for the finish. Now, don't get me wrong, Ren, of course, played great. Had some early gambles that didn't work out. Then did some weird stuff, and it mostly worked out. But I think the more important thing is... No, please, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, I just think that Ren's gameplay really improved over the course of just running. Like, I think Crazy was really good early on. His execution was great. I don't think Ren's execution ever got perfect, but I feel like towards the end, and he understood kind of the complexity of the seed, I think he was able to kind of pull out a little better routing at the end there.
Here's how I would summarize it. Despite the fact that Crazy had an early lead and Ren didn't, Ren committed to his routing concept, and Crazy hesitated and had second thoughts, and that was the difference. So, really will be interesting to see how game number 2 goes.
Yeah, I think those little, brain farts of Crazy probably cost him a good, 5-10 minutes in the long run. But, both players did a few things that did not necessarily save them time. So, the next race I'm really excited for. GG.
Whence you came. Trouble the soul of my mother no more.
Definitely a super exciting start to the losers bracket here. So Doozy, if you had to summarize that exciting game number 1 for anyone just joining in, how would you sum it up?
I can just tell you the first race, it was very interesting. It looked like Crazy kind of broke out to an early lead. He had kind of done a very good, very efficient sort of routing, whereas Ren was kind of doing a little bit of early gambles that kind of cost him a few minutes. But he was able to catch up thanks to just better execution down the stretch. And it looked like Crazy made a few errors. And so now Ren has won race number 1 and on to number 2. Well, at least we got a better prologue from Crazy.
That was nice and clean. Stacks could have been better, but stacks are luck, so you take what you get.
It looks like Ren incorporated the 3 Holy Storm strategy on Dracula. Interesting.
I wonder if that's for consistency reasons. Yeah, definitely slower. You can go back into the ceiling and get another big heart, but if you get decent stacks, the other way's faster. Alrighty, so Crazy with a very small lead. Last seed was definitely a little bit cruel. It was late Jewel, and it was a long seed. I wonder if this one might be more of a zip seed.
This is more my type of drip right here. Blue and purple.
It's always a good cape in Bounty Hunter. Very nice.
Very regal. Oh boy. What do you do here, Jupiter, when you get holy glasses as your first check?
Well, that confirms
How much you can do.
It's probably not in the chain, although imagine a world where we find Bat. So both holy glasses and Bat are layer 1. All of a sudden, that might be a little weird. This tells me it's going to be a very free-form kind of a seed.
Yeah, it seemed like the last one felt... Maybe I'm a little off here. It felt a little more linear than your average bounty hunter seed. So now with this being the first check, you know what? I can't say that. There was a bad entrance in the last one. But yeah, it seems like this race for sure is very wide open. Early spike breaker, early holy glasses.
Now you mentioned last time, Doozy, that you felt Ren was playing better and more confident as that game 1 went on. I wonder if that's going to continue into game 2. We might just see, try to carry the momentum.
Right. I think it comes with the experience that Ren has with this. And I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, he's probably, like, every race page or every time a race is started up for Bounty Hunter, it's usually Ren. Like, I would say 80% of the time it's Ren starting it. He has been living and eating and breathing Bounty Hunter. He wants this more than anybody I can think of right now. So I just continue to expect him to outperform Crazy in this particular race.
I mean, look at these furious shield dashes. Ren with the mashing of the gods right now. Wants this game number 2 for sure. Never want to take it to a game 3 in a preset as volatile as this one. Okay, Ren!
Ren, really? Are you really?
Take it off, Ren. It's plus
Usually when
1,
people
Ren.
say I deserve a medal. It's sarcastic.
Oh, you think that's what it is? I hope Ren
yes, he deserves his own
loses
medal.
by 1.3 seconds, okay? So I actually didn't see what was at the elevator. I was too busy getting mad about the
Elevator, I believe,
medal.
is empty, so
Oh, okay.
I think they're just. Oh no, it was Gold Ring. I'm sorry.
So once again, some interesting optional, or not optional, what's the right word? Conditional items early. Spike Breaker and a random ring. That's good.
At the very least, Spike Breaker is better armor than a la carte mail, so they got that going for them, which is nice. This is, I don't know what it looks like on your end, but on my end, it looks like they're doing the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But this kind of, seeing this here, them neck and neck, just goes to show kind of the level of competition we're dealing with here. These people are at the top of their game, these two racers. And they've been playing Bounty Hunter nonstop, so they know exactly what to do in the early game here.
Both players opting to do this slightly new school route. This is kind of the Ren route, I like to call it. Ren's been a big believer in this for a while. In this kind of a situation, if Ren had picked up and equipped a second medal, I would have disabled his video feed. But yeah, Ren has been advocating for this. In a situation like this where you have to go to Spirit Orb, you might as well take Outer Wall. It's faster, and you get more farms on the way.
Oh yeah, Ren looks like he's really got the Tala Dragon Blitz kind of field dashing roll down. Very nice.
Interesting. No random drops here in this hallway so far. It's kind of surprising. On either side.
Yeah, the drops have been kind of sparse so far, but that is the nature of random drops.
We got a diamond plate. It's honestly pretty decent defensively, but Spike Breaker is going to be more than enough.
Yep. Plus, Spike Breaker breaks spikes.
It does. That's very true. It does.
The diamonds can't do that.
Ren is just saving tens of seconds on mashing. Very impressive. This is incredibly clean movement from Ren.
Yep. It's like it's just like I can feel it coming through the screen how badly Ren wants this right now.
It's a safe seed. We got Holy Glasses 1. We got Jewel 1.
Doing a little extra marionette farming because who knows? It's the one issue I have with Bounty Hunter is that it's very hard to come by decent weapons. Just it depends on how much you kill, and sometimes just they don't want to drop stuff.
Now, for my money, totally get where you're coming from. I think that's a bonus. That's a plus, not a negative. Because it forces you to learn how to fight some of these tougher bosses with nothing. You know, Crystal Grim has been played out. Alucard Shield's played out. Alucard's is the good stuff. If you can win with Alucard, you can win with pretty much anything.
I see that.
Yeah, good question here. I'm curious to get your thoughts, Doozy. In a similar situation to this, in like a safe seed, the question would be, do you go down to the 2 caverns checks that are jewel locked? Potentially more with bridge break, or do you go up to the leapstone check and grab the warp?
That's a great question. I wouldn't go. It's so hard for me to go down to caverns just this. Like I think when you're dealing with complexity like this, I think you go down, you do whatever checks you can, and just warp your way back. You got those, those 2 warps already. But I'm a big fan of just doing the 0 relic keep check. But that's just the casual racer in me. I think in this particular preset, you don't get a whole lot out of it. So I don't know what else you really can do except go down to the caverns and make your way to the merman check.
Ooh, what do we have here? Alucard shield.
Alucard. You trying to get 2? And you can tell both racers are very desperate equipment. They're just killing everything left and right.
Yeah, Ren has saved a lot of time on shield dashing and has invested that time into a lot of extra farms. Alucard shield's good, but you need shield rod or moblong to get the most out of it.
Yeah, and all those extra farms allowed Crazy to come back here and kind of, in a way, sort of cancel out the good shield dashing. Zilla is always a tough matchup.
It is, yeah.
Alucard.
An underrated boss fight in terms of difficulty, I think.
When you have very little equipment, it's a tough matchup. Oof.
Not bad from Crazy,
really
but very clean from Ren. Saving time there.
The real question is, what's in Merman? Like, what are the odds? I mean, I would think it's got to be either grab or some type of flight.
Could be a whole lot of nothing.
Double jump.
I think you got a save split here just in case. Then you might do a little bridge break. Yeah, good call here from Ren.
Yeah. Now, is a bridge break baked into the logic of Bounty Hunter? I don't think it is.
It is not. I don't think it's in... even the glitched presets, I believe, predate bridge break being rediscovered. So I don't think it's in any preset, to my knowledge anyway.
Now, would you do bridge break before even going down to a merman statue?
Good question, actually. I think I'd do Merman first, just to knock that off my list, but you could make an argument for density. Just go down.
I think that's what Ren's probably gonna end up doing with that split. He'll check Merman, and if he has to, split back and then go down.
Here's the thing, if you can get any... Oh! Frog? Frog W? Well, I was gonna say, if you can get any kind of, like, an altitude ability, like Leapstone, even a Thrust Sword, maybe even Wolf Mist or something weird like that, you can full clear caverns with Spike Breakers. So I think that's another reason to do Merman. If it's Gravity Boost or something like that, it's really good.
And that's why, this has been a shockingly linear type of seed in that regard. If it all comes down to movement at Merman statue. It does feel like a safe seed, actually.
So far, I gotta say, it's neck and neck. Both players are playing incredibly well. Ren's had slightly better route, better execution, and crucially, the better luck. It's a small lead, but it's a lead.
So far, this feels like a victory lap for Ren. Victory lap. But, anything can happen. I mean, it looked like Crazy was in the lead for a while in that last race, and suddenly Ren was in the lead. So, anything's possible.
So it is indeed going to be Gravity Boots at Merman. Can't get back up, that's fine. We can just do a standard route around.
Which is fine, because now you got a couple extra checks in Alchemy Lab with grab boots.
Yeah. I mean, Crazy could have saved split. Ren could not because of the random Vlad, but I think it's the right call to keep this.
Yeah, I think at this point, if it were me, I would just, you know, I think they're doing it, but just kill everything you can find and hope that you can find a thrust sword to get quick flight in fake flight.
Yes, Heart of Vlad was dropped by a toad. So it'll be easy for Crazy to get it once Crazy knows. But there's a 1 in 5 chance that's going to be the complexity card, which would be a huge advantage.
No, Brent's strategy here has been really interesting, and I just want to point it out. Like, he has been doing a lot of just running around and beating people up. And, I mean, I know that's sort of like the theme of Bounty Hunter, but he's just doing it so well right now. It's just, it's actually been just, like, really fun to watch. But Crazy, not that far behind. It's just he doesn't have that random blast.
Reminder that Ren was on the verge of upsetting Dinner Dog, who's the 1 seed for the whole tournament. So don't let this being a loser's bracket match fool you or mislead you in any way. Both of these players are forces to be reckoned with.
Oh yeah, both of these players have a chance to win all of it. What's the money bag at now? 3,200?
3,300. We just passed that recently. Yeah, all bits, as a reminder, contributed between now and the very end of the tournament will go 100% to the prize pool, which is the biggest ever for a Castlevania event, 3,300 plus.
And see, that would just cover all of Ren's gambling debts.
So speaking of safe stuff here, we had Gravity Boots 2, and it's looking like maybe Rings 3. So I was thinking with early Holy Glasses, you find early flight alongside that like bat, suddenly it's a really open seed. Instead it's been the opposite, where it's early Holy Glasses, and then it's a very linear, safe-like Castle 1.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, like, what exactly is in second castle if we're getting Holy Glasses that early? I don't want to say it's bait. It's like, just like what we talk about with Jewel of Oak, and it's very rare when something like that's bait, but...
Well, unlike last seed with a lot of early cards, we've got 0 cards right now. Oof! 50-50 time!
Merman could be a step in the complexity. Who goes for it? Who bites?
Yeah, shares the same layer with Rings.
I wouldn't go down there again without Holy Glasses, though. The Holy Glasses check, I mean.
You know, I'm with you. I mean, it's all on the way.
I don't know if there's a racer out there that would just straight up skip Holy Glasses check because it takes too much time.
Especially with 0 cards, yeah.
Yeah. It's good to know that Ren doesn't have to worry about cursing or getting turned to stone. He's actually got a pretty decent array of equipment at this point. It's still neck and neck. This is remarkable.
Mm-hmm. This has been a linear seed. And it goes to show you how evenly matched these players are. They both got strengths and weaknesses compared to each other.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, this is guaranteed flight because otherwise you'd be soft locked if you go down here. So this has to be either soul of bat or double jump.
Oh, not necessarily.
You don't think?
Mm-mm.
Can you get out with just grab boots?
Oh, you can't get out, but you might have to save and reload.
Oh, really? So
Yeah,
there's
'cause it could be Merman instead. Now, I think you're right that it's got a pretty decent chance of being something. Oh, it's Bat. Good call, Doozy.
Oh, score 1 for me. Get out of town, Jupe.
I'm amazed that Crazy didn't save that. That could have been just the end. See, I'm just thinking out loud here. Jewel 1, Gravity 2, Merman 3, Leapstone, or Bat 4. Seems like it should have been plausible. But anyway, both runners now with Bat and Wolf.
Yep, and now there's actually some real potential for path divergence. Bat's sort of the great equalizer in that regard, so we'll see if they pick the same route.
Okay, so according to Dinner Dog, you're right, Doozy. Let me just clarify. I'm gonna do some penance for spreading misinfo accidentally. Apparently, with the randomizer, I'm not sure if this is a bounty hunter thing or a universal thing, it won't put holy glasses in logic unless you already have flight, or it is flight. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And there's only one preset where that's not the case, and that's glitch. But I'm pretty sure all the other presets are done that way. Blade Soldiers actually had an interesting pickup there, Strength Potion. I think a lot of racers, especially newer racers, tend to ignore the buffs, but Strength Potion and Attack Potion end up being really helpful, especially when you're stuck with a la carte equipment.
You know, this play right here is becoming a Ren classic. Fighting Minotaur Werewolf for the second Ring of Arcana. It's objectively correct.
Yep, but he might die. Ooh, that feels bad when you do a spirit like that and you get a screen freeze at the same time. But he gets it. We'll see if the Arcana is worth it.
Oh, it's worth it. Now, you know, sometimes you just get really lucky and sometimes you just get really unlucky. But 0 cards, you gotta take this, 100%.
I really would have liked it if he just skipped the Arcana and stayed with the metal. That really would have made a lot of sense.
We can put the medal back on if Ren actually wins this game too.
Yep.
All right, Brilliant Mail and a lot of strength potions here. Who needs a duplicate if we just have 10? You can use whenever.
Wow. And that's kind of a classic Ren strat there, going into the Blade Soldier room and just knocking them all out for an easy pickup. You got to take them where you can get them here. You can't just break a wall open and find items here.
Some good combat here on all rocks for Crazy.
Yep, that's solid. Didn't take too much damage. That was also a pretty good AI for Olrox. He never once used that fire pillar move.
Now look at this. We're getting, I think, an all rocks delay from Ren.
Yeah. Finally, some divergence. He's going to come up with a couple extra checks here. He's going to do Fire Bat, and I would assume go all the way to keep.
I think this Muramasa play is way too cute. Way too cute. Just unequip it. Just
Don't do it.
unequip it. Go into the menu and take it off. Oh
And he did Dark Metamorphosis too far away from Olrox.
Not even Hellfire.
Oh my gosh.
He's dead. He's dead. Oh, he's dead.
He's not dead. He's just badly wounded. Oh, now he's
Oh,
dead.
he's actually dead. I would just library card. Oh my.
Yeah. Don't be a hero.
All rocks, please stop with the spam. My
This
goodness.
is a pretty epic battle, dude. Just wow. Okay, there it goes.
Give it up for Crazy. Literally just saved his tournament life there.
remarkable that we've actually seen that in 2 straight races. Remember, in the last race, Ren almost died, I believe, to an Azagal trying to fight them and get the last lad.
And it's a card. Okay, so rewarded
But it
for
is-
surviving.
It'll say frog. Oh, toad.
That's good. That kind of negates that early Ren advantage. Kind of the card you want to see, actually.
Yeah.
If you're crazy.
Yeah, and that feels bad for Ren, because he's eventually going to find that and realize he's got no real advantage right now. We got about almost 24 minutes in, and that's when we found our first card. This would not be a fun seed to run if it were me.
Quite a contrast from game number 1, which I'm happy about. 2 very different seeds. And a Varda here.
And I'm glad
for
there's a
Ren.
little bit of divergence here. So there is a Ring of Varda that Ren picked up, but he's already got 2 Arcanas, so it's kind of a waste. Well, now Ren can see how hard he can hit.
Well, I hope you all are ready for like 4 cards in Castle 2.
That's true. That first Holy Glasses pickup was really just a sign that said buckle up. I think this is going to be a very weird seed.
So what's the current count right now? It's, to recap, Jewel 1, Gravity 2, Rings 3, yep, Bat 4, which means we could actually have 4 cards in Castle 2. Every single Castle 2 check is Complexity 5.
It's been a long, long time since I've seen 4 Vlads in the second castle. Let's go. I want to see
Same.
this happen.
All right, so Ren's not going to commit to the All Rocks skip, which I think is fine. It's a little too much.
Ooh, Crazy
Hey-
finally got the cutscene skip.
Yeah, very nicely done.
Well played. And I don't know if you noticed it, but Crazy did pick up a random Lapis Lazuli from, I forget what the drop was, but he's got one of those along with his Ring of Arcana. And of course, Ren's got both Arcanas. So they've significantly buffed up their drop rates here.
Question from the chat, does Merman have to be bait? Not necessarily. So considering that Merman was 3, it could be Merman 3, Mist 4, Final Complexity 5. At Silvering or at Soul of Bat, and then Castle 2 is just all randoms. Unlikely though.
Yeah, I think both racers will probably look at that Merman for a little bit and just think it's better to just go off the second castle. There's just a lot more to check in the second castle at this point anyway. It's just really the density of it all.
Uh-oh, careful, Ren! 1 damage! Alright, he's fine. So I can't make that one as exciting as the last All Rocks.
Yeah, he's doing nice damage. I wasn't worried about him. A Yasutsuna, random Yasutsuna drop from the Flea Rider. Oh my god, Crazy.
Best weapon found so far for either player.
Yep. And yet, he's not bothering to equip it yet. Ren just picked up the heart card. That feels bad for him. At least he doesn't have to go over and farm the toads.
It's also nice that Ren can route in Silver Ring. So I think the All Rocks delay was pretty good. Actually, wait, we're still waiting on Mist. Never mind, ignore me. Still waiting on Mist. So you're gonna have to save split all this.
Well, like you said, Mist could be at Holy Symbol check for all we know.
Yeah. Well, I had it in mind, but we're gonna have to delay that for now. It's off to Castle 2.
Yeah, I think this is a good strategy. Just knock out Castle 2, get it out of the way. See what other goodies you get, and maybe you can go back to the first castle.
Yeah, very reasonable gamble here. Let's go ahead and go with Crazy's audio. Slight lead. Heading into Reverse Castle. But we're just, I'm not sure we're going to get any kind of separation here. These two are neck and neck, 30 minutes in.
It's remarkable. They've just been doing the same route, but these two have been going and like racing each other for the last like 3 months, so I'm not totally surprised. But it is interesting that like it looks like, you know, Ren might be ahead a little bit. Now it looks like Crazy's ahead a little bit. Like really anything can happen.
Now, we have absolutely no information on the remaining farms. So this is not going to be one of those seeds where you let the farms dictate the route. You got to just pick a route. So what route's it going to be?
I will say that the trade-off with the Asetsuna is that it does lower your defense. So Crazy really does have to watch himself in the second castle. He can get into a pickle really quickly. Just like that, another card.
Now, Black Crow is found in Chapel.
Yep. So there will be a trip back to Castle 1 no matter what.
So that right there is the complexity card. Technically. Any others we find here will also be the complexity card.
Yep, it's just a matter of how many we're going to find this layer of complexity.
I think the most I've ever seen is 3 shared. 4 shared would be insane.
Yeah, that might not even be possible. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I've never gotten that.
One day we're going to get 5.
Then it's just the vanilla game.
It's just true. It really is just vanilla. Vanilla with an extra step of having to farm the relics.
Yeah.
So yeah, Crazy's going to be saving a little bit of time on combat here. This is good use of the Yasutsuna. Unlike some other mashing pieces of mashing tech in this game, you can use 2 buttons, square and circle, which makes it a lot more realistic to mash quickly. You want to like learn a little bit of a claw grip for this weapon.
Now, Balloon Pod doesn't have any drops, right?
Not to my knowledge. Panther does, Balloon Pod does not.
Now, you see how much farther into the castle Crazy is now. I mean, the Yasutsuna is really paying off here. Making combat go just that much faster.
Another race. Another example of both runners not going the quote-unquote standard Medusa left side route. I think
it's remarkable.
I think right side has so far been the most popular. This is an old school standard route. I was thinking things would be changing up for Bounty Hunter, but no. Old habits die hard, as they say.
I do like left side routing for a lot of presets, especially safe. I just feel like in this one, I can wrap my head around just the right side route a lot easier. You beat Beelzebub, you library card, you beat Creature, and you go up to Death and Galamot. Like, to me, that is such a clean, crisp route that I don't think you really need to bother with the left route. But, you know, Different strokes for different folks.
It's also interesting. I mean, you want a full clear Castle 2, I think, before you even think about returning to Castle 1. So, I guess just prioritizing full clear speed is a good idea. I think that's what Crazy and Ren are going for with this right side.
Yeah.
However, Swarm seems to think it's an Akmadon left. We said that last time, and it wasn't. Maybe it's going to be the case this time.
Nothing.
Oh, here we go.
All right. Skipping bees again.
This is going to be some new school theory crafting. How's it work out? Let's see.
Now, is this a complete skip, or is he going to go and, like, do some sort of route through the reverse alchemy? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never seen left side Akmadon. This is going to be a new route for me, too.
Oh, there's the divergence, because it looks like Ren is going to keep going. He's going to keep going to bees. He's not skipping bees.
Another
Or maybe
SotN race.
he's just going to get the warp first.
Another routing 50-50 to potentially decide the winner. In terms of density, Crazy's route does have the advantage, but we need 4 cards. Sorry, 3 cards. Ren doesn't need to get the sword cards, so 3 left. If there's any on right side, Ren's gonna have the advantage here. What the? Value it, creature.
Okay, so Ren now in a like a commanding lead here. 3 cards. He doesn't have the hard card, but he knows where it is.
We could have very easily seen a Frozen Shade on the way earlier in the seeds, so we'll have to double back for that one, maybe. If there is a card at a Holy Symbol after all, it won't be that costly since they're going to be going back there anyway. Shoutouts to Azagal.
I am really curious what Trio and Bees have, because if either one of them have cards, then I think Ren actually still has the advantage here.
I think so too, yeah. But now it's looking like the odds are in Crazy's favor, whereas before I was really unsure.
Yeah.
Also, I really like the Saturn-esque movement from Crazy. I've seen this a couple of times, also in the previous game, where you hear about Mist Wolf and Mist Bat. That is the Wolf Bat tech, where you use Wolf to interrupt a Wing Smash and change direction. In the Saturn version, which doesn't really have Wing Smashing, or sorry, Mist Bat, I should say, that tech can be useful.
Before I mentioned like Requiem strats, because that's exactly what you have to do when you speed run any percent in Requiem, because it's impossible to do mist batting, so you're kind of forced to do wolf batting.
Doesn't Requiem have frame perfect mist batting?
It does.
Oh, well then just get the frame perfect doozy. Just get every time.
You and Dragon Blitz, the same advice.
No.
Good.
Sometimes you gotta learn to pick your battles a little bit. Yeah, it's cool tech though, for sure.
Yeah.
I like the wolf just moonwalked back for that second Yasetsu. Hey, it could have been a Masamune.
If only he could give it to Ren so he could have just one. I still prefer Ren's routing, despite the fact that Crazy himself has got himself quite a few cards and a form of mist.
It is working out great for Crazy now.
Unbelievable.
These mist checks are going to be complexity 6, by the way.
Right, so there may not be something in that level for or level 6. What's the maximum complexity for bounty hunter? I thought it was 5.
Well, the minimum is 5. Max I've ever heard about is 7. Max I've seen is 6. Ren claims he's seen 8. I just think that's a lie, or a miscount maybe.
It.
Well, let's go with 7's the probable max.
If Ren says it's in bounty hunter, it's probably in bounty hunter.
He has played this literally more than everyone else, so if anyone was gonna see a complexity 8, it'd be Ren.
Like, I think I've raced 5 times. He's raced, I think, 5,000 times.
It was literally triple digits by the end of qualifiers, which is crazy. All right, so now speaking of Ren, gonna have to find something at B's. Oh, or not B's. Wait a minute.
No, this is the correct routing.
No, this is correct for Ren. Yeah, it's just not gonna work out. So Akmadon left side working out great for Crazy.
Nope. Unbelievable. Just skipping what happens when you skip Beelzebub and Trio.
It looked like that card was
But that's a big
Karasu
gamble.
Man. All right, so what checks we got left?
Oh, a nice $2,000 drop for for Crazy.
All this
'Cause
money
you know
and
how
nothing to
important money is
buy.
in this preset.
Yeah. So we got Death remaining. We got Galamoth. Granfloon we haven't seen, right?
No, I don't think anybody touched Grand Falloon, and we don't know what's at the Holy Symbol check.
Yeah, and then also Mist. So we got like 6-ish checks remaining for that final card.
Yep.
How does Ren win, by the way? Oh, I know how Ren wins. Ren has the second Arcana and Crazy doesn't.
Yeah, he's got a little advantage over farming, but for whatever it's worth, he didn't find the second Arcana, but Crazy does have a Lapis Lazuli that he is equipped with.
Decent backup, honestly. It's plus 20 luck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's looking good for Crazy here. I think Crazy's the favorite for game number 2. Nice enemy
Sometimes
spam
those
here.
gambles pay. Those skips certainly did. Makes me wonder if he just didn't have cold feet in that first race. I mean, we could be looking at a very easy match win for Crazy, but yeah.
That's why you never want to play nervous.
Yep.
Now, here's an idea. You save at Galamoth, and you do Castle 1 stuff first.
An interesting, he didn't do it, but an interesting idea now that Crazy has 4 cards, that he could have just split at right there where like the Gaibons are, that save spot, you know, at well, I can't remember. Was it Reverse Mines or whatever? Like, that would have been an interesting split to have, and then keep going to Galamoth, and if that's nothing, library card to first castle. I don't know. Like, I think this is the time where he should just be putting splits just about everywhere. There might be a good density of enemies.
And Crazy's going for it. So no Galamoth for now. I expect we'll see the same from Ren, but who knows?
I would love for Ren to just take on Galamoth just to see what he's got.
Go all in.
Because there is still that possibility that there could be 4 cards in the second castle. I think it would behoove, Ren to do a 100% check.
It would behoove. Yeah, it would definitely behoove.
Yeah, and he does have the Yasutsuna now, so he's good with combat.
What's the etymology of the word behoove?
That's a great question. I love that word, and I'm trying to think.
It's a great word because it's so unlike other words that are commonly used in English. Behoove.
It's a funny word.
I'm looking it up. Quick linguistics break. Bear with me.
I will.
And
I'll
online.
cover and I'll cover the game here.
Perfect.
Don't worry, I got your back, G.
It comes from Middle English. Behofian, to have need of or use for. Cool. Shoutouts to Beowulf.
It has nothing to do with horses.
No. Was Beowulf Old English or Middle English? I think it might have Old
Middle
English.
English.
Oh, it was
I
Middle
think the
English.
only Old English is like Chaucer.
You ever see that Beowulf movie with Angelina Jolie? This is a boomer movie at this point.
How was it? I never, I remember seeing it. It was, it was a Zemeckis movie. It was Polar Express. It was that company making all the weird Uncanny Valley films. Uncanny
God,
Valley.
it's
How
so
was it?
true, yeah. At the time, the visuals were amazing. I will say the main point of criticism is how much it deviated from the original Beowulf story. So it might be worth rewatching to see how well it's held up. I think everyone's forgotten that movie happened, though. So... if you remember that movie as a kid, this conversation's for you. You're welcome. All right, so meanwhile, what was it?
Thank you.
Octopodes? I didn't see it.
I don't think there was anything there. I'm trying to look at the tracker there. I can't, even when I'm trying to watch the game, I can't even do it right. It doesn't matter. They didn't find the iCard. But Ren did find all the other cards he needs to catch up with Crazy.
Crazy putting on that lapis lazuli, and it was a quick farm.
This has been the eternal debate. Which is better, Lapis and an Arcana or two Arcanas?
It's not a debate.
Yes, the common conventional wisdom is you want to have two Arcanas, especially in this where it's the rare drop you're looking for. But who knows? Crazy's proven us all wrong here.
No, sample size issue. Sample size issue. Unless the calculator is wrong. When it comes to Castlevania resources online, you can never be too trusting, but I trust the SotN calculator.
I do trust it.
That's one thing about SotN that bugs me. If you're like wing smashing through a room like that, you get an item, it flashes on screen for 2 frames and disappears. So I don't even know what he got there.
I don't even know if he knows what he got. All right, moment of truth time. I'm curious if Ren is going to go all the way to Galamoth. I mean, he's pretty much... He is invested in 100 clearing the second castle, so I think he's going to go for Galamoth here. Wow.
All right, we're getting a similar play. So if you're rooting for Ren, you're hoping for early caverns. Because it's looking like it's going to be somewhere down in caverns after all.
Oh, I forgot. So it looks like Crazy is just going to pick up all these other leftover checks he has, which we all know doesn't have what he's looking for. Like if I were him, I don't know why you're not just going straight to Silver Ring. That's going to be where the last card is. I mean, debatable, but I mean that's my gut guess there. Uh-oh. There you go, Ren.
Now, Ren. I was gonna call
deny
out
full wolf like that.
I was gonna call out Crazy for doing the same thing. It's worth the 2 seconds, I can assure you. You're about to go through this long hallway. You gotta pick that up. Disagree.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's the new school players discounting Wolf. Need to play a little bit more Lycanthrope.
Kids these days. Maybe we need to do another Lycanthrope tournament.
It is arguably the best preset. I wouldn't be opposed.
We have to just remind people of the importance of full Wolf.
Oh, here we go. Crazy going down. This is also a great Frozen Shade farm.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that.
Excellent stuff. Okay, this Lapis Lazuli is certainly acting as a good Arcana substitute. We got Toad next. Ren's running out of time here. Oh,
Yeah, I'm curious.
is this?
if
That's good.
Crazy is gonna go back and check Holy Symbol after getting this Toad pickup here. Nah, it doesn't look like it.
Oh, what is this from Ren? Is this Silver Ring?
I hope so.
Oh, it's looking so good
Ren's
for
in a
Crazy.
slightly different situation. Oh no, did he split away the heart card? I think Ren did pick it up. Or found it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he's really only got one card left. So this is an interesting... This is what Bounty Hunter always ends up, and this is where it gets fun. It's just seeing like how quickly both players can farm and get what they need.
Yeah, I prefer this Toad farm for Crazy. The Toad's a little bit deeper into the room, but you get two of them. This has got to be better. Yeah, I think this is the single worst farm we've seen so far. Not too bad yet, but definitely slow.
Yeah. And it was so easy for Ren.
Oh, I see. This is Black Crow for Ren, so yeah, this is good.
He's doing
Yeah.
the Black Crow farm. So we got two different farms going on right now. Crazy decided to use his luck potion. So not only does he... So he's got insane luck considering he's got the Lapis Lazuli and now this.
Will it be enough? Alucard really is very dramatic, huh? He got touched by a frog and backflipped out of the room. Thank you, Alucard.
The only place in the world where toads and frogs are just as dangerous as every other scary monster.
Going for the plus 30. Plus 20 wasn't enough. Need that plus 30 on top of it. Oh, so this is now officially a very bad farm.
Curious why Ren is still spending his time just beating up everything he sees. Like, he pretty much has endgame equipment at this point. There's the crow.
Maybe
So he's
hoping to
just
get.
finding
I mean, a
different
random eye would be game breaking.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the hope. But I think you're right. At this point, the odds are low that a random goes your way. So just focus on the essential farms.
Yeah.
Well, I will say Ren's not getting very lucky on Black Crow. We got a luck issue on both sides.
These black crows, man, they're hot to handle and hard to handle.
There
Couldn't
it
even get
is.
the joke right.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay, Ren,
You like that?
what you want to do is put on the Masamune. I believe with the special, you can reach that Black Crow from the right side of the room. And it will save you 1 second per farm. But he's not going to do it. It's suboptimal.
Yeah, I mean, just watching these two races with Ren, it's really coming to light that if there's one thing he could really work on is his combat and really getting creative with how to use weapons. It's something that I've seen Crazy do quite a bit, especially in that first race. It seems like Ren could, really use a couple sessions where he just focuses on his sword skills here.
Meanwhile, Crazy with another good boss fight. So let's see if Caverns has got the answer. Time running out for Ren. Doing the Castlevania classic. Bad farm, double check, incredulous. That's the incredulity check, Doozy. That's, I've been here too long. Am I farming the wrong enemy? Yeah, it's the ritual special. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody does it. Everybody does it after like the first 50 kills. You're like, okay, I must have made a mistake. You know, he's gonna check. He's got the 2 Arcanas on. Putting on. You gotta just feel for Ren right now.
Certainly not over, but now it's going to require a similarly bad farm for Crazy somewhere.
And like to your point you were saying earlier, Jupe, I think it's important to know what's in your inventory at all times. You know, just knowing that he had a Masamune and that he could just pull it out now and use it, you know, without a mana penalty to go after the Black Rose. I mean, I think that just comes with just kind of having that knowledge.
Another duplicator for Crazy. Are you kidding me?
Give somebody else a chance to sit on that horseshoe. Come on.
Now, I'm not sure if
But
Crazy's got
the
some...
luck in the world didn't help him in the last race. The second duplicator, if he wanted it.
I wonder if Crazy's got anything good. Ren just... I mean, they both just burned luck potions. That might have been their only one. If not, we might see some luck potions spam, which would be fun. You know what the trouble is with Duplicator, though? If you're going to put it on, you have to take off, like in this case, a Lapis Lazuli. So, what's the point?
Good call. It's not really a great benefit to farming unless it's just a really hard farm, like you gotta fight a long distance enemy or something.
What's this I see on the right side of the stream? Is this Granfalloon? Ooh, here we go.
It had to happen. But man, how much faster would he go through this hallway if he had just picked up a wolf?
I know, that's so sad. You know, Fist of Tolkis is actually really good for Granfalloon. Oh, that's such a sick strat. Let's go Crazy. To your point, Doozy, some very creative combat. Yeah.
Yeah.
No fear of the rising Granfalloon hitbox. Guess Asuna just better.
Just built different. Oh, why were we even thinking about it?
Is it literally Galamoth? What's left?
It's gotta be Galamoth. I think that would have changed everything if Ren had just gone to Granfalloon. Or not Granfalloon, Galamoth.
Well... Okay, so that means that Ren doesn't have many chances right now. Ren's gonna do every check down here. He's gonna do the ring farm. So it's gonna require the Crazy die to Galamoth, or have a couple of really bad farms. Remind me, what's Tooth Doozy in the seed?
Tooth card. According to the plate's picture, it's a target red. No, the where was the tooth? What is the tooth? I didn't check it. Sorry. Somebody in chat probably knows.
Oh, Karasu, man, yes. You want to save that one for the end. Yeah.
Thank you, friendly chatter. I think Blades is going to go right to Galamoth. Is that? Oh, no, because he still has not done Trio or Beelzebub, so that's probably where he's headed.
Oh, God, you're right. Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
Hang on, Ren. Ren's got a chance.
Ren still has a chance. This is still pretty neck and neck as far as...
Oh, never mind. Or maybe Crazy might be going up first. This would be a good call from Crazy. You figure, you know, maybe... Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Good stuff. Good stuff here. Heads up play. That's a good quality read on your opponent.
Yep. And it's the one thing that's a double-edged sword for Ren here is because he's raced so much, we all kind of know his strats and what he does. So I think Crazy at this point, he's knowing, like, Ren probably was pretty thorough with the second castle. He doesn't have to bother with trio or Bs. He's just going to have to live with that, you know, those skips and just hit up Gal.
It's what I like to call the Steph Curry approach, okay? When it comes to SotN, it's the same principle. Sometimes you want to just take a 3 from half court, unironically. And the reason you do that is so the defense has to at least respect it. If you do the same route every time, you become a little too predictable, and your opponent can disrespect certain unconventional routing options. So it's good to just sometimes do something insane.
Ren got the duplicator too. By the way, I'm glad that there was a Steph Curry shout out. It's a shame that they lost in the play-in, but you know, I like Steph. That's a great analogy.
Well, thank you. So I'm assuming, well, I mean, Yasutsuna's not great here.
All right, Blades is not splitting right at Galamoth, so he's
Ooh,
feeling
here
pretty
we
good
go.
about what his setup is. There we go, double jab. He's got some strength potions. He could use one here, but he won't. That's the risk you run. Sometimes Galamoth will do an opening attack before turning, but he's good. Just don't let him back up anymore. Now, Javelin is not a particularly great use item for Galamoth. You'd rather have a Shuriken or something, but he's, you know.
Yeah, this will go by quick enough. There it is. Not bad.
Yeah.
Oh, what the? Wait
Nobody
a
has checked
minute.
Silver Ring yet, though, have they? Or have they? No, they have. Never mind.
Wait a minute. We've missed something. Chat, help us out here.
Chat, only you can tell us what's going on.
Did both runners do Frozen Shade and then not do Holy Symbol?
I think they both skipped Holy Symbol, yeah. No, I think, yeah, they were farming for Frozen Shade. Did they skip? That would be crazy if they did.
Oh my god, it could be Succubus, couldn't it? Because Flight was late. You have to
Yep.
double back for Succubus.
100% correct. It could be Succubus.
Could have sworn we saw Entrance, but that might be some Seed Bleed. For the record, this is why we never
And
do
I think
3
we-
games in a row. Even 2
Yeah,
is
and I think we've
confusing.
already seen the high complexity cards, so I think they're just looking for something really random right
Yeah, it
now.
can be literally anywhere, yeah. And everything in Castle 2 is complexity, so anything is on the table. This is one of the situations where you gotta open up the map. So, okay, all of a sudden, Ren, who's chilling here in Castle 1, might be in a better position. I'm surprised. I thought for sure it was gonna be Galamoth.
Yep.
This is tough for Crazy. Crazy
I thought it was
absolutely
gonna
making
be
the right call
Galamoth
to
and
skip
Grand Balloon.
these, but now that you're here, you kind of have to do them.
Yeah. Is Succubus the only one that we haven't seen? Yeah, so it looks like Crazy's going to go off and just complete Castle 2. So this does leave an opening for Ren to find that last card. Because we already know there's nothing like in Castle 2 anymore.
Yeah, Castle 2 has been cleared out. So Crazy taking advantage of multiple save splits here. Very smart. But this is Ren's race to lose. Now, it's looking like, hate to say it as a fan of Game 3s, this might be a 2-0.
Yeah, I think experience is overcoming kind of raw skill here. But still, just an absolutely great couple of races. You know, regardless of how this one shakes out, they both ended up kind of going neck and neck towards the end. So this is fun. And there's still a lot of game to go. I mean, they have to find all the cards and then still have to go and farm the baddies. It's just Ren is just so much farther into that right now.
Let's see. It's gonna be Holy Symbol, then maybe Succubus afterwards.
Here comes Holy Symbol. Yep. Okay, so Ren skipped Holy Symbol and just farmed for the shade.
I think this is a little bit sus. If you're gonna literally go into this room to literally farm Frozen Shade, why wouldn't you grab the relic here?
Yeah. Then you're talking just a little bit like you're committing way too much to the skipping of things. Like if you're right there, you know?
Oof. Well, that's why they skipped
my.
it. My God, we're off to Succubus.
Yep.
You know what's great? Both of these runners right now are I guarantee they're feeling super behind. Ren thinking to himself, I'm 10 minutes behind. It's gonna be game 3. Crazy thinking it's over. My tournament run is done. This is one of those seeds where no matter what your route was, you're feeling like it's not going well.
It's just one of those seeds, you know? And we've all played it. It's the seed in which it just feels like you're behind the whole time. Like you've just done the worst routing when the reality is it's just the placement of the pieces here.
If it's Succubus, I think Succubus skip might be dead for this tournament. If I couldn't persuade people before, it's going to be a wrap now.
Sorry, Jupiter.
That's all right. Next year. By the way, nice movement here from Ren. I like these dive kicks. All right, Crazy's back with all the Vlads. I'll tell you what, if Crazy goes from the top, Succubus might be the first check on the list, and that could all of a sudden be like a 1.5 minute lead, which is not that much with 2 farms on the table.
Actually, now I'm thinking like, did they listen to you? Did both racers listen to you in the last race somehow?
I think in this situation, not so much. It's just the routing made Succubus so out of the way. It was kind of skipped by accident and just never returned to.
Yeah, because of where it was. Yeah, it would have been really tough to go back. It really wasn't out of the way check. So what is it?
Oh.
Gurkha, not the easiest guy to find, except he's right by Dracula.
Oh, Crazy's going up. Why is Crazy going up? This is not the route you want to see if you're rooting for Crazy.
This is feeling a lot like what happened in the last race. I think he's in a panic and doesn't quite know what to do with himself.
Oh, it's Fire of Bat first. Never mind, this is fine. How did we skip Fire of Bat?
Ren got Fire Bat really early. There wasn't anything.
Jay.
There we go, Jay.
All right, Crazy, you got to go down here. You got to go down instantly. Oh, decision time.
Yep, I think overall Ren just had the more efficient routing. I think it's just what it comes down to here.
Okay, Crazy's definitely not out of it. This is the right route. We'll be going to Succubus first. So, we're going to switch to Ren's audio, by the way. There's another sports analogy of controlling your own destiny when it comes to making it into the playoffs, for example. You always want to be in a position where you control your own destiny. It's like, if you win, you'll get in.
Absolutely.
We got a similar situation here where Crazy can win, but Crazy is not in control. It's going to depend. Ren has to get unlucky. That's where we're at right now.
To your point, Jupe, I think these two races really are kind of a lesson in that, of just like understanding the feel of the game, understanding where you are at any time. Okay, so now he's doing the... I would just wait to go up to the Guardians. Why do this?
I want to say there's not a Gurkha near the Guardian. I think it's... oh, no, there is. It's Gurkha, and then Hammer is the one that's exclusive to Castle 1, right? Yeah. I think I'm with you. I think that would have been a little bit better.
Crazy showing off the really fun strat of going really fast at Wolf and then turning into Bat.
See, here's the thing. If Crazy sees this at Succubus, you could library card, Karasuman, and then Gurkha. risk the Guardian farm. Crazy does have a Masamune, which would make that really nice and easy. Okay, I mean, it's an option.
Yeah.
Still far behind right now.
It is still anybody's game, even though Crazy is still looking for that last one. And I'd say this is just about with every bounty hunter seed, because you just don't know how long these farms are going to take.
For the record, I think at this point, skill of Wolf would have been a net like 20 seconds of time saved. Always get it.
Yeah, stay salty. You're not going to let that go, Jupe. I love it.
I'm just making sure people respect Wolf, which is the coolest transformation in maybe any Castlevania. So that was an average farm for Ren, but average is going to be good enough. It's all down to Malphus now. Karasuman. This is actually, look at this. So Crazy should be library carding right after this. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm curious which Gurkha Crazy goes for, because I would just do the reverse library card now.
I don't like this. Are we out of library?
But you know
card?
what? Yeah, doing the Gurkha in first castle is a better farm. Never mind. Safer at least.
Oh, this actually might be better. Hang on.
I like what Crazy's doing, bouncing around the saves here.
Yeah, this is really good. This is strong.
Yep. But he also could have just done that without the
Yeah,
spin.
I was thinking he was going for something a little bit different there. Okay, never mind.
Nope. Yeah,
I think the idea was that was his one library card, so we had to load to get the library card back, is my guess.
yeah. What I was mentioning to your sports analogy, it's like you do have to have a game plan ahead of time, and being able to execute that plan really tends to be the difference between winning and losing. I really do see that as the lesson here in tonight's races.
All right, it's gonna need to be a minimum like 30 tries for Ren. Oh, I don't know. These are pretty quick. I think Ren's got this one in the bag.
Now, I don't know if Red knows it, but he picked up a duplicator, and I feel like this is one of those times where if you have a throwable and a duplicator, you use it on Karasamon. In and out, in and out.
Would you sacrifice the luck for that? You might. It'd be so much quicker,
Yeah,
maybe.
I think I would.
God, the second Ren gets this, it's over and Ren wins. This is so nerve-wracking for Crazy. Crazy's played so great today, too.
Yeah, no, I would say this is probably the best I've seen Crazy play. It's just, you know, what I love about this Juke is the tournament brings the best out of everybody. And I think at least in these early rounds, we are seeing just such really, amazing performances by all the racers.
Absolutely. It's been so competitive. Everyone is pushing this preset so far forward. It's been great to see. Oh, speaking of duplicator farms, here you go.
Yep.
Cool
He's
idea
opting
here.
to do Gurkha farming, which is not in this room, it's the next room. But interesting that he's choosing to do this.
Oh!
Yeah, I think he made the mistake of thinking that Gurkha just kind of runs up if you go to the right of the screen. You have to... Yeah.
One
you
more
gotta
hit,
kill
he's
that
just
Guardian
dead.
first.
Yeah, I'm
Now
not
that I see
seeing
this,
it.
I think Ren's Gurkha farming was a lot smarter.
Okay, going back down. Ren still hasn't found it. It's possible. It's just gonna take a miracle. The odds of the miracle are going up. It's over. Well, Ren has corrupted the game to get that final Vlad. GG's to Ren.
He had to corrupt the game in order to beat it, but you know what? There's nothing in the rule set that says he can't do it.
Actually, there is.
Oh, well, he's disqualified.
It's over. GG. No, no.
Well, when is game 3 going to be, Juke? No, I'm just kidding.
I want to say something about the Oh, what's it called? It's some random name that the localizers made up. Deathwing's Lair. Something about that big Deathwing's Lair room that causes text problems. But now that's going to do it for sure. Crazy with a valiant effort and some really cool routing ideas, but just wasn't enough. Ren had that comeback in game 1. And I think just played a little bit better in game 2. So we'll be moving on.
Actually surprised.
Oh, what a farm for Crazy, though.
I will say, I was a little surprised that Ren ended up in the loser's bracket in the first place. And after watching this, I still think that this is his loser's bracket to lose. But we got a lot of great racers still, I think, coming up in this bracket that we haven't seen yet. So
it's one of those things where I think Ren fell victim to quote-unquote only being the 8 seed. I mean, being the 8 seed is a terrific accomplishment, but I know that Ren wanted higher, and having to play Dinner Dog round 1 is going to be tough for literally everybody. So if Ren had been like top 4 seeds, maybe it wouldn't have been such an early losers bracket. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, I would not be surprised if Ren makes it all the way through.
No, it wouldn't surprise me if we see Dinner Dog and Ren again in the grand finals. Like, that's how good Ren can be at this game.
God, it's still so close. Considering all the differences in the routing, it's wild to see this, but also shoutouts to a 75-minute seed here. This has been a long one.
Yeah. These both felt really long for some reason. But maybe it's just in relation to CRAZY4BLADES, like, under 30-minute time on that 1 seed.
Can Ren die? Is that possible with his current setup?
Can die to Dracula.
Anyway, this is a smart farm here from Crazy. Upgrading the farm with a duplicator strength potion. I mean, it's Yasutuna, but look at that damage. That damage is cracked beyond all reason. Oh, yeah, it's insane. It's over.
Varda and Yasutuna is a deadly combo, and we're seeing it in action.
This is going to be a 0.5 cycle time. The 2-0 for Ren.
Couple of races.
But very, very close, both games. A fantastic showing from CRAZY4BLADES tonight. And I think we'll want to go ahead and get both these runners in for some post-game comms. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, so joined by Ren, the winner, and Crazy, who put up an incredible show. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Crazy, let's go ahead and start with you. Game number 1 was just a fantastic finish. You had the initiative early. A lot of your routing decisions really worked out. How did you feel like game number 1 went?
I felt like game number 1, I felt like I did everything possible that was correct. My movement was a little sloppy, I know that. But I knew that I had the numbers in my favor for game number 1, and I felt like I read everything correctly.
Now, I just had a question for Ren. First of all, congrats on the win. But I'm just curious, like, when, you know, Jupe and I were watching your side, especially in that second race, it felt like you really knew what you were doing. You were really kind of executing down the stretch. I'm just curious, like, what was your kind of thought process going into the second race?
My process on second race? I don't know what's
thinking?
going on with this seed. You know, it's Aurochs the last card. Oh my god. No, sorry, but oh my god. This don't. Oh my god. I drop it
Careful,
random.
Ren.
Oh my god. Oh, I don't know, dudes. Yeah, you know, I misunderstand the count. You know, I think the last card is behind something on second castle, maybe missed, you know, but When I realized, I checked everything, I realized that that was 4. I said, no, I lost because of that. Oh my god.
I read bad as 3, so.
So it sounds like, despite the fact that you both played great, kind of a stressful set, huh?
I think if it had not been for Asgol, I would have had first one because Asgol is just terrible, and if you just manage to get it relatively fast, you're gonna win.
Definitely a game to go back and watch. I feel like we were talking about this during the set crazy that for game 1 there were a couple of moments where you went back to be a little bit thorough, and I think those were the moments because Ren was a little more ambitious at spots and ended up saving that little bit of extra time. Ren started the Azagol farm like, what was it, like a minute and a half earlier? So it was very close, but had the slight edge.
Yeah, it was remarkable how neck and neck that was.
The first one, whenever I went to reverse library card, I thought, well, I need to double check to make sure that I'm not skipping. Like, I wasn't going to go back to check entrance for any reason other than having Jewel of Open. So whenever I went back, I had the mindset of I'm going to check these 2 things and save split away so I can reuse the card for the reverse library card. I felt like it was being too thorough, but I felt like at that moment I had to be.
Well, obviously, Ren, huge congrats on the win. Well fought and well earned. How are you feeling about the next round? It's still loser's bracket, but now you've got a little bit of time to wait until your next opponent. What do you think?
Yeah, time to rest a little bit after these 2 seeds, but that's fine. Thank you for the congrats.
Really, you're not just going to race Pager immediately after this?
Yeah, I'm a little suspicious.
Of course. Yeah, I am the one who played 90 seeds, so that's fine. Well, first of all, congrats to Crazy. You know, he's my closest friend, I think, here on my library Discord. We do a lot of trash talk and some stuff, you know, and I'm cautious with the words, but yeah, we know me, Crazy, Swarm, and Screams are the training group, you know, are the training crew, and no, these guys are awesome. I have no words to all these guys, especially these 4, but all the guys are great. And I hope if I play like the 2nd seed, I'm gonna lose, you know. But if I play better, maybe I have a chance to win the next round. I think it's Super Survey, so I hope for a Brazilian match.
It should be a good one. Once again, to echo those thoughts, Crazy. Really amazing showing. Hopefully we get you on the mic in the future.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to take a break from this randomizer. I'm not to say that I'm happy to be done with this preset. This preset has exhausted my mind so much.
You know what, honestly, as someone who's washed myself and in the commentary booth, it's kind of nice and relaxing up here. Doozy, I think you'll agree.
Absolutely. I will say, especially with that 2nd seed we watched, I'm very glad we were commentating and not playing it.
Yeah, I understand.
They had that last card be all the way back at Succubus. Yeah, no thank you.
The last card is behind Orox.
Yeah, well,
oh my god.
My last card was behind Succubus. I decided, well, I'm going to skip Merman and Succubus because I'm not going to those are out of the way.
You know what? We did the same thing.
I finally got the farms. I'm like, okay, I'm going to find the last card in 2nd castle because I have 3 checks left. And when I didn't find it, I was just like, I statistically counted the probabilities and everything, and those were closer together rather than the 3 that I had left in 1st castle.
Alrighty, well with that, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up this interview. Really do appreciate your time. And special final shout out to Doozy. You know, it took a while for the schedules to work out and align, but it was great having you on. Hopefully we can do it again in the future. Really enjoyable. Hope you had a fun time.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Anytime you want me on, just ping me.
All right, soon TM will have the run back.